Welcome in the first recruiting roundup powered by Rock and Refuel Varsity of the 2015 high school football season. Scout.com's Jason Jewell, I'm Jared Cohen. We bring the latest in Arizona high school football recruiting year-round. Let's start with the new recruiting news from Garrett Rand, which he announced on Monday night.
Yeah, the four-star defensive tackle from Hamilton High School narrowed his list down to a top 5. He says he is still open, though, to other offers, but right now this is tentative top 5. 4 of those schools are coming from the Pac-12. You got Arizona State, UCLA, Stanford, and Washington. And then the other school that jumped into the mix is Wisconsin, where he took an unofficial visit this summer.
So what's next? How does this unfold going forward? What are some of those schools out of those 5 that really stand out in your eyes?
Well, I've always kind of thought that Stanford was one of the schools to beat just because of the education there. Now, kids can only take 5 official visits, so I would expect Rand, these are the 5 schools I think he's going to take official visits to.
So that's really it from a recruiting standpoint. Let's dive into what we saw from week 0 of the high school football season, starting with our player of the week, someone I got to catch firsthand, Hunter Dean Gibson, wide receiver out of Basha High School.
Now, Basha had a bunch of standouts. Ryan Kelly, their quarterback, played very, very well. Sean Dubia, their DB, had 4 interceptions, which is just ridiculous. But we're going to go with Hunter Dean Gibson as our player of the week. He had 7 catches, 263 yards, and 3 touchdowns against Liberty for a breakout performance.
I was really interested to see which wide receivers were going to break out with this kind of new batch rolling through for Ryan Kelly. Like his route running, a very similar in stature and the type of player of Doc O'Connor, the standout Basha wide receiver that they had over the last few years. Even wears the same number that he did. Really liked what I saw out of Dean Gibson. Jason, you were out at Desert Edge against Catalina Foothills. Roshan Johnson makes the switch to linebacker. Put your coach hat on. What did you see out of the young fella?
Now, Roshan, we've known him as a running back. He's a big, thick, physical kid, has rushed for almost 2,000 yards in his varsity career so far. Been on varsity since he was a freshman. But he's big, thick. He's about 6 foot, 6'1", 230 pounds, and Coach Welbrock has moved him to middle linebacker. I really liked him. I thought he made plays all over the field. He was able to run around, shows good, quick, and toughness inside, and showed good tackling ability for a guy that's really never played linebacker.
When you look at it, because the whole notion was from a recruiting standpoint, it would make more sense for Johnson to get some reps at linebacker in addition to running back. Do you see him more of a next level linebacker as opposed to running back?
No, I know Coach Welbrock really thinks that that's what he is going to play at the next level. Personally, I like big physical running backs, and I think he'd be a perfect ace running back where he's a lone back and can get those tough yards.
Okay, let's dive into week 1 of the regular season. It's weird talking about week 0, week 1, but so many teams played last week. Week 1 now, though, everyone will be going. Huge showdown on Thursday night between Saguaro and Centennial.
Yeah, a game that I will definitely be at. Huge matchup at Glendale Community College. You look at it, starts in the trenches for Centennial High School. They have 3 players with Division I offers, led by Marshall Nathan, who's committed to Arizona State, Stephen Bailey, and Tanner Hawthorne. I said all of those guys have Division I offers, but Saguaro themselves loaded on the offensive line with Corey Stevens, Caden Lyles, Michael Weinstein, just absolutely loaded there. And they have some skilled kids, obviously, that can play as well. Byron Murphy, the #1 recruit in the state of Arizona, and KJ Jarrell. And can't forget Corey Lyles, their quarterback, committed to Wisconsin. This is a showdown. This is a heavyweight boxing match.
So that's Saguaro and Centennial on Thursday. A game that I have on my radar for Friday, Campo Verde against Williamsfield. This will be the first game of the year for Williamsfield. They return their quarterback, Weston Murphy, and then Kyle Stroh, running back, 5'11", 190. That's a solid 1-2 punch that they have on the offensive side of the ball. They have hard hitters on defense as well. And Campo Verde, a team coming in maybe a little bit out of nowhere, knocking off Sal Point in Tucson. Can they go for 2 wins against 2 highly ranked teams? They'll get their shot. That's coming up this Friday. That's it for this week's edition of the Recruiting Roundup, powered by Rock and Refuel Varsity. That's Jason Jewell. I'm Jared Cohen.